Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video, which if you couldn't tell by the different setup, which is me being in the camera, I have a very special video today. Today I'm going to be painting squishies for the first time ever. I've never even held a squishy, okay? I'm very new to this whole thing, and I got this kit on Amazon that comes with paints, the squishies, the whole thing, so that way I can create my own custom squishies using paint. So we're gonna test this kit out, we're gonna see. It says it's squishaliciously easy, fun, and colorful, so I'll test that out. Super soft for a fun-filled squish. Ew. First, we're gonna unbox. So it comes with this little paint palette, 3 different paintbrushes. Oh, this one has like glitter in it. That's pretty cool. Little spaces that you can put on your squishies if you're into that kind of thing. It comes with 5 paints. It looks like white, red, blue, brown, and yellow. 2 different types of sprinkles, circle colorful sprinkles, and normal sprinkles. And of course, the 3 squishies. The ice cream cone squishy. This is huge and very squishy. And then this little, like a shake, like a latte type of shake squishy. And this little cake squishy with like fruits on it. It does kind of smell weird. I don't know if that's a normal squishy thing. And then it also comes with little helpful tips and techniques how to make your squishies and decorate some deliciously squishy desserts. That'll be our goal for today, to decorate some super delicious squishy desserts with this Amazon kit. It will be linked down below and we will test it out and see how good it is, how good it paints squishies. These are very squishy. And what these turn out like. A lot of this is gonna be error, I already know, but we're gonna test it out and see what we can create with this squishy kit from Amazon. Why make squishies for the first time ever, and possibly the last, but probably not.
I started off with quite possibly the hardest squishy to start off with, this giant ice cream cone. I tried to make a color for the cone. I felt like it was a little dark, and I tried to make a different color for the other side of the cone, but I found that I couldn't blend them very easily. It was looking a little flat, so I decided to add some straight brown to the parts that were supposed to be darker, just to give it a little more realistic look. And after that, this is how the cone was looking. So I moved on to the ice cream part. I decided to do strawberry ice cream because I wanted it to be colorful, but I also wanted it to be realistic, and there is pink ice cream. So that's what I went with. I added a couple of little drips to again make it a little more realistic, and then it was time for the ultimate test and to try something really fun, which was to put this brown paint directly on to the cone. This was quite the bold move for a beginner like me, but I think it paid off. I kind of spread that around a little bit, but I wanted it to look like there was chocolate syrup on top of the ice cream cone that was falling down it and drizzling. I think I probably put a little bit too much drizzle on top because it did not stop dripping for hours, but I still think it turned out really, really well, and it was a really cool effect that surprisingly worked a lot better than I thought it would. While that brown paint was still wet, I decided to take some of those normal sprinkles and put them all over the top of the ice cream cone, and I just kept adding more and more until it looked super pretty and like a rainbow of sprinkles all over the top. It made a huge mess, but it was well worth it. I had to prop it up for it to dry so it didn't get everywhere, and then it was time to move on to the Milkshake Squishy, which is probably my favorite to squish. Some parts of the squishies seem to take in paint better than others. I found that it helped to put in kind of a base layer for the squishy to soak in, and then you could layer the paint a little bit more on top once that first layer had gone through. So that's kind of the technique that I went in with this. I decided to do the rim and the straw purple at first, change it up a little bit later, and then for the base of this one I decided to do it blue. I had an idea to do kind of like a cloud shake or like a cloud latte, sounds a little more fancy, so that's what I went ahead and did. I still found that parts of it were taking in color better than others, but overall it worked pretty well. Then, even though you couldn't tell, I put a white layer on top so that way the sprinkles would have something to stick to, and I used those adorable circle sprinkles, which are super cute, and then I went ahead and added my clouds. It took a long time for the paint to dry, like 24 hours, I'd say, honestly, so it was hard to layer colors, but this is how that one turned out. And then it was time for the last one, which was the cake squishy. For the cake squishy, I wanted to go a little more vibrant with my colors, so it's a little less realistic, but a lot more fun. So I started off by painting all of the little berries on top like strawberries, so I made them all red. Kind of made a little bit of a mess with that, but that's okay. I tried to clean it up later, but I did find with this kit that it was very hard to go over any colors, and it was definitely impossible to go lighter. So just keep that in mind if you're doing this. I don't know if that's how it is with all squishies, but with this, it was very hard to correct mistakes. I only used the supplies that was given to me by the kit, and if you couldn't tell, I was definitely favoring this paintbrush, mostly because of those pink sparkles on the inside, but it worked really well for the smaller areas and to add some detail. I did try to add some shading, but I don't know if it really came through all that well, but it still turned out super cute, and I loved the vibrancy of the paint colors that were given to us. Once I was done painting all of the colors, I couldn't leave it like that. I felt like it still needed a bit more, and I really liked those sprinkles, so I decided to add more of these circle sprinkles on top of this one. So I put some white down to act as a glue again, and then I decided to add some more details by adding some white dots onto the strawberries, hopefully to make them look a little bit more realistic and to add a little more detail to the whole cake. I cleaned it up, and then all three of the squishies were painted.
Now I have all three squishies completed. They are all done, all painted, and it was a bit of a challenge. I've never painted squishies before. I had no idea what to expect, but I had a lot of fun, and I think they turned out pretty cute. So I'm going to show you guys the finished products. So here's that cake squishy that is finished now. This one is super cute. So are the rest. This is the first one that I did, and it's a little bit more realistic, I think, like a little more of a realistic interpretation, and it has this like drizzle of chocolate and an explosion of sprinkles. And then here is the shake, and I think they all turned out pretty cute. I think my favorite is probably the cake squishy. It's just really cute. They're all still super squishy, so that's good. And the kit, I would say, was a success. It had everything I needed. I didn't use anything apart from the kit because I wanted to give it a true test. As far as my knowledge goes, and as far as this kit goes, I give it 2 thumbs up. It was super fun, super easy to use. I struggled a little bit, but it's just different materials, different processes than I'm used to. But I think overall, it turned out really well. So if you're looking for a squishy kit, this might be the one.
Here's a final look at the 3 completed squishies so you can see them a little bit better. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more videos like this.